Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe.
Stop making all the noise, man.
Oh, boy, LeBron, he was out there last night just giving those dubs the business. But wait a second. The Dubs don't have any dubs.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You just, hold on.
Huh?
When he was out there without Kyrie and Kevin Love, you didn't say that. The Cavs ain't got no Cavs. That ain't what you said?
We'll talk about that in a little
Yeah, how you
Shall
doing?
we?
Yeah.
Good. We've got a ton to get to today with Paul George set for his Clippers debut tonight. Which LA team has the edge moving forward? That should be fun. And is Lamar Jackson being catered to in Baltimore like Tim Tebow was in Denver? Little Tebow in the show. We are going to start, though, guys, with the latest on Colin Kaepernick. After it was initially reported that the league would provide a list of attendees to Kaepernick's Saturday workout, a league source has since said that they never made that promise and no list will be provided. Some teams have reached out to Kaepernick as a courtesy, saying that they would not be able to attend. And according to reports, some of those same teams have expressed confusion as to why Kaepernick is getting a workout in the first place. Panther safety and Cap's former teammate Eric Reid said it, quote, feels like a PR stunt. So, Shannon, do you see any good reason for this to be happening?
Skip, after 3 years of waiting, he finally gets an opportunity to get in front of some NFL eyes. No more putting video outs on your own and sending them out and hoping someone gets a notice and will look like Cap can still play. Hopefully, I think some teams did respond and say, yeah, we will have a representative there to take a look at you. Now, the likelihood of a head coach or general manager, per se, Skip, being there, you know that's not very good considering there are a handful of teams that are all biased. But I don't think their head coaches will be in attendance. And there's something else that's going on in the fall, Skip. It's called college football. And, you know, they got the Tours and the Joe Burrows and all these guys that are playing that a lot of the scouts will be there scouting those guys.
Yep.
Now, maybe there are some regional scouts that's going to be in the area. Hey, are you at the Clemson game or you at the Georgia game? How about swing through? But what do they play on Saturday, Skip? College football. So if college football is playing, how do you be at two places at one time? So it's going to be very interesting. But for me to try to find a positive, Skip, he will get an opportunity to get in front of NFL people and show what he can still do if he still has something. It reminds me, Skip, when I was a seventh-round draft pick in 1990. Seventh-round draft pick, Skips, are normally camp bodies. But it gave me an opportunity to get into camp and to show what I could or could not do. I made it. So Cap,
I still think you had a slight advantage. You did have a big brother, and I think they would say, let's see if...
Right.
Okay.
You're right. But at the end of the day, Skip, I still had to show because...
You had to show.
Sterling wasn't going to be able to catch any passes for the Broncos or help it for the Broncos. And so Cap...
So I got to tell you, your first camp practice...
Yeah.
That's high stakes, man. That's high pressure.
Because
that's like sink or swim for you. Like, that's career threatening.
It is because everybody look at, because my brother had just was an All-Pro.
Yeah.
He was first team All-Pro and he made the Pro Bowl.
So if you stink up the first camp practice, they might just say, next.
He doesn't have it. And Skip, but for me, the process is just so strange. And I think some of these NFL execs have the same thought process. Why are the NFL, Skip, maybe it's a cover. Because it's hard for me to believe there's like, well, the NFL says we wanted Cap to be at an NFL facility. Well, there are 32 of them. They could have invited him in at any point in time in the last 3 years and had him at an NFL facility. Maybe it's cover. Because for me, Skip, I'm trying to understand. It says there are a couple of teams that was reaching out to the NFL asking the status of Colin Kaepernick. What status? This is not a Greg Hardy or a Ray Rice or Antonio Brown type situation. There is no status. He's unemployed. He's not run afoul with the law or the NFL per se that would deem him, say, untouchable as far as conduct. The sexual abuse or domestic violence or anything of that nature. Drug suspension. So I'm trying to figure out, Skip, what do you need because the NFL has done it. The team's like, well, we wanted him, but we didn't know what his status was with the league. The league always flips it back, and they've said this from day one, Skip. We stay out of who the team signed or who the team releases. That's a team-to-team thing. So I'm confused by it, but I'm happy that he finally gets it up. How realistic of a shot is it, Skip? We may really never know. But the mere fact that he will be in front of some NFL eyes, hopefully it goes well.
Yep.
But there's no way he could turn this down. He had to go, because if he turned it down, people will say, see, there were opportunities, because it was already floated out there, Skip. He had opportunities, but he turned them down because he didn't want to be a backup. He turned them down because he wasn't willing to play for less than $10 million. So this is his opportunity to show what he can or can't do, and hopefully it goes well for him.
Gotcha. So, after I slept on this, 24 hours passed, some of the smoke cleared in my head, because yesterday I could not get a grip on any part of this.
Right.
This is what I see now. I believe what just happened was the NFL's cold-blooded, take no prisoners, very big business response to the statement released by Colin and his team back on October the 10th. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a ball is in your court NFL statement, and it came a bolt out of the blue, just like this quote-unquote workout did.
Exactly.
Remember, we weren't expecting it?
No.
Where did this come from? October 10th, 2019, I got it in my hand, for immediate release, as if this is a bombshell.
Yeah.
And it's from Jeff Nally, who's the agent for Colin Kaepernick, has been an agent, representing NFL players for 25 years.
Okay.
And I'll just boil it down to two key statements. Says Jeff Nally, no team has brought in Colin for a workout. And by the way, the whole point of this, facts to address the false narratives regarding Colin Kaepernick. So he's saying no team has brought in Colin for a workout, and this is contrary to some reports and speculation.
Right.
And he also said that I have reached out to all 32 teams about Colin's employment with little to no response.
Right.
And his in summary is, it is difficult to think of another young player in NFL history with statistics and character as impressive as Colin Kaepernick's not being given an opportunity to earn a spot on an NFL roster after what he has accomplished. Boom. So, NFL, onus on you, says Jeff Nally, for immediate release. So it took a little while. It took about a month for the NFL to get its ducks in a row. And it said, touche, right? Gotcha. We call your bluff. Okay, if that's how you want to play, we'll play your game this way. Except you're going to do it under our terms, on our schedule. Boom! Workout Saturday. How you like that, Jeff Nally? That's what I think this whole statement just said from the NFL.
Your statement came out of the blue. We're going to give you one back out of the blue.
And we're going to give you virtually no shot here, because this is next to impossible what he's trying to pull off. But at least the NFL can say, enough of this. If you want to keep jabbing us from a distance, we're going to jab back. And we're the big bad NFL. And when we jab, we can really jab. We can throw a knockout punch, right? So this is their way, the NFL's, of saying, okay, we're going to get this over with in one fell swoop on a Saturday? On a Saturday. In Atlanta? In Atlanta. Under our terms, we even released by Ian Rappaport the schedule. And it's kind of bizarre because we thought the interview was really important. It's going to take like 15 minutes of a group interview. And
it's going to be on camera, so for those that's not there, they can get...
But there are already teams, Jenny points out, teams are already apologizing to Colin's camp, saying, we can't make it. And the teams that are going to attend, just watch what will happen. It'll be the assistant to the assistant GM.
To the assistant.
To the assistant to the assistant, right?
Probably like a guy that goes get coffee. He's a golfer. He goes get
one of those guys.
But he'll have on team affiliated stuff. So
he will.
You don't know his role is.
Okay.
Excuse me, not to cut you off, but that's maybe why they wanted names. Because if a guy has on team affiliated stuff and he's the guy that sits next to the guy that sits next to the guy that knows the guy.
Bingo.
What is that?
Because Kaepernick's team would like to release the list that they have gotten. These are the people who are, the NFL says, will attend our Saturday, quote-unquote, workout. And you won't have heard of any of them.
Exactly.
So then it'll be PR advantage Colin's team.
Correct.
Now, I'm going to be completely fair about this. I have had one ongoing issue with Colin Kaepernick's team. it has stonewalled everybody, including you and I and our friend John Wooten, who used to run the Fritz Pollard Alliance.
Right.
Everybody's tried to break through the stone wall to get to Colin. And again, all the reports say the reason the NFL finally responded this way was that so many teams had called the league office saying, hey, we can't get a hold of anybody. What's up with Kaepernick?
Right.
How do we can we work him out? Is it still okay to work him out? Because there is a lot of bad blood here. He sued the league. They settled with him. I don't know how much it was for. There are reports of $1 million up to $10 million. So I don't know, but they did settle.
Right.
So that creates some animosity, right?
The league is the 32 teams. And that money that he got, no matter how much it was, maybe it was $1 million, maybe it was $10, come out of the 32 owners' pocket.
Okay, so the NFL reportedly has grown sick and tired of trying to answer unanswerable questions when people call to say, what's up with these guys? You know, we can't get through. They're non-communicative. They're difficult. They're evasive. They're elusive, just as the NFL is being right now.
So the NFL said, we'll bring him to you, and you ask him those questions.
You ask him. So let's just get this over with. So it's irritating me that the NFL is so not transparent here. I wanted some kind of a media session where it didn't have to be Roger Goodell, but one of his lieutenants could have done a session saying, okay, this is why we're doing this now. Right. And try to explain. It would
probably been Troy Vincent.
Okay, Troy Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why Atlanta? You know, why not a more central location like Dallas? Why Saturday? Why blah, blah, blah. All those questions that we can't answer. Well, the truth is, I'm not sure Troy could answer those questions. I don't think there are good answers for this. But yet, I don't have much sympathy for the way Colin's camp has handled this, the way it has stonewalled all along. And have we heard anything really from Colin?
No.
Not a peep.
And I think that's kind of how he wanted it. Skip, for me, and I go back, and I think you go back with me. What has transpired with Colin Kaepernick's situation from 2016 when he was unable to gain employment to right now? Is he less toxic? Because here's the thing. Let's just say a team signs him, and they come out there for pregame, and he takes that knee. What happens again? Revisit the issue that led to this, what we believe that led to this in the beginning. That's what I don't understand. Now these teams are going to be in attendance. You could have invited him in, because here's the thing, though, Skip. You know, it's like if I invite you in, that means I'm showing interest. If I just show up, I mean, hey, I might just be there chewing the fat. Hey, I was in the neighborhood. Like I said, I believe this is why Cap wants the list. Okay, is it the general manager? Is it the assistant GM? Or is it the guy from the film room? Or is it the Hill Gopher? What's his official title that he's in attendance and watching me do what I do? Well, the NFL says you don't need to know that. And for me, Skip, at the end of the day, I want to find the positive. And that's what Jenny's question was, the positive.
Sure.
He gets an opportunity to get in front of NFL eyes, or what we assume to be NFL eyes. The question is, then I flip it back, how realistic is his chance of getting on an NFL roster?
Okay, we both agree with this. It's probably slim to none, but we both agree if just one pair of eyes is on Colin, and that pair of eyes goes back home and says, hey, I really liked what I saw, as simple as it is, just he's throwing against air to receivers he doesn't probably even know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but looked good, looked like he was in great shape, arm strength, superior. He ran, I don't know if he'd run a 40, but he might do some kind of running drills, I don't know, cone drills, I don't know, just to see what kind of condition he looks like. But what if it's like A+ condition? Okay, and somebody says, you know what, maybe we should bring him in for a workout. Well, now it's time for Colin to submit to this, to say, okay, I'm no longer above it all, because he used to say, wait, I'm a starting quarterback. I don't have to go work out for anybody.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he gets an opportunity. Someone signed him for the remainder of the year. Does the NFL feel they paid their debt? He's paid in full now? Because, Skip, you do realize Tua is going to enter the draft. Herbert's going to enter the draft. Joe Burrow is entering the draft. Probably from Georgia is coming in. So Cam is going to be on the market.
It's talent, yeah.
We believe Cam will be on the market. They haven't said anything, but we believe that Cam is going to be on the move. So, I mean, what are we looking at here? Six, 7 games? And I'm like, okay, you bring him up. You expect the quarterback. This is not a wide receiver where you say, okay, Josh Gordon, line up on the right and run a slant. Josh, line up on the left and Skip, you got to know everything. You can't just...
Okay. So back to the for immediate release. He says a quarterback with these statistics not getting a chance, never seen anything like it in my 25 years of being an agent.
Right.
Okay, let's refresh everybody's memory because I needed to refresh mine before this show started as to exactly what Colin did accomplish in his season starting for the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, his touchdowns, interceptions were 72 to 30. That's pretty great.
That's very good.
Overall starting record was 28 and 30, which not great.
Not great.
Started out hot.
Right.
Took that team from midstream to the Super Bowl.
Right.
When Jim Harbaugh had the guts to me to say, nope, Alex Smith, you're out.
Right.
I'm going with this kid. And he carried you all the way to within a controversial non-call of winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Second year, 12-4. Lost to Seattle in the NFC Championship game,
He
right?
was a tip pass away from going back to the Super Bowl.
Okay, thank you very much. Then the Harbaugh regime went south and sour, remember? And they ran him out.
Right.
And that year it was 8-8. And then they just fell off. He was 2-6 as a starter and got hurt in 2015, and then 1-10 as a starter to finish.
Wow.
So his QBRs went from 4th in the league for that first half a year, 7th in the league the next year. That's tremendous.
Right.
15th, 29th, and then 22nd when they went 1-10. So there was a tail-off factor.
Right.
And if you want to dock him for that, if you want to give him some, a lower grade for that, feel free. But we also saw some greatness for him.
Right.
We saw what he did to Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game. We saw what he could
went
do.
back up there the following season and did
That
the
is
regular
correct.
season.
He did it twice, but at home he did it with his legs as well as his arm because he ran wild.
Because Skip, remember we talked about how Lamar Jackson had that game where he rushed for he threw for 250 and he ran for a 1, and I was like, you notice how they prefaced that? They said in the regular season.
Yep.
Cap ran for 181 and threw for 263 in a playoff game.
Wow.
So we know what he was capable of. Is he that?
Yep.
It's hard for me to believe that he's still that after 3 years of not doing anything.
3 years. It's a long time.
I mean,
And he's now just turned 32.
not to compare him to Muhammad Ali, Skip, but Muhammad Ali lost 3 years of his prime that he never got back. Yeah, he was great, but what could he have been had not those 3 years been taken from him?
And remember, he had such a high boxing IQ that when he came back, he reinvented the way he boxed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it took rope-a-dope to upset Joe Frazier in the Thriller, in the Rumble.
That was Foreman.
Yeah, Foreman. I'm sorry, Foreman. Yeah. So the point was that he became a different fighter.
He had to.
And again, would Colin have to be a different quarterback? No. I think he could still do what he used to do.
Right. It's just hard. I just can't wrap my mind around that 31 teams said, nah, we good. Now, there's we forgive and forget. I just don't know what has happened. What happened? He's still Colin Kaepernick. He still did something that a lot of you find offensive. So what? I guess him taking a knee now wouldn't be disrespectful of the military. It wouldn't be disrespectful to the flag or the police. So or have we forgotten? What about the socks that he wore? Remember, the socks was the issue. And what about the Castro T-shirt? He wore that. But now it's okay?
Well, it was all a long time ago.
It was a long time.
I guess everybody says let bygones be bygones.
Well, I would hope so. And one team that keeps popping up on that list, Dallas Cowboys. Again, their owner is the staunchest, we will stand for the anthem of all the owners, right?
Oh, yeah.
But maybe because Michael Bennett sort of made peace with it, some way, shape, and form, right?
Right.
Could they use Colin Kaepernick as their quote-unquote backup quarterback? Yes. Is he better than Cooper Rush? Yes. Would he fit the way they run the offense right now a little better than Cooper? Yes.
Yes. And they would probably rely more on his legs than they even do Dak Prescott legs.
They need to rely on his more than they did last Sunday night.
But they definitely probably would lean that way a little more than what they do on Dak. But it's just like I said, he's in front of eyes. I'm trying to find the positive, Jenny. I believe that he's in front of NFL. How it came to be, we might think it's a PR stunt, a sham, or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, the NFL says, here you go. This is the opportunity that we're going to present to you. Do with it what you want. You can say no, or you can go out there and put your best foot forward and let's see what comes of it.
Okay. So in a few minutes on the show, we're going to talk about what Tim Tebow did for the 2011 Broncos. And this situation reminds me a little bit of what Tebow got thrown into, because remember, the Broncos were 1-4,
Right.
dead in the water. And new regime with John Elway, John Fox, they did not draft Tim Tebow. So what did they do in game number 5? They were on the way to play at Miami, and they said, let's just get this over with. Let's throw him into that fire at Miami. And somehow, some way, he pulled off a win in overtime. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he was off to the races. So I'm comparing it to this only because at least Colin has a remote chance here. It's a virtually impossible chance, but it's a chance.
Right.
I think Tebow's chance at Miami was pretty remote also.
Right.
I think it was virtually impossible, and he kept pulling it off against all odds.
You believe that this is a situation where they say, go out there, we know you're going to fail. We want everybody to see you fail.
Yeah. I'm sure in the backs of their minds.
Yes.
He is set up to fail, right? This is a virtual can't-win situation.
Right.
But it's only virtual, meaning there's a 2% chance that you'd catch somebody's eye or imagination.
Well, sometimes people like 2% milk.
Yep.
It's not
maybe.
skim. I mean, hey.
Maybe.
Make it work, Cap.
Okay.
2% milk.
Could be.
How long has this been in the mix? You want to hear more from Colin? It's like there's still so many questions that need to be answered.
And the thing is, before we go, Skip, you think after this that Cap is actually going to talk? And I'm not talking about not in a setting where he's talking to kids or he's talking at risk. I'm talking about actually have a sit down and talk to someone. You think that's going to be possible now?
I would like to think it would be.
Yeah.
I am still mystified over what he's all about now. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm fascinated because we have not heard enough from him.
Yeah.
I thought we might start hearing from him as more of a social justice crusader.
Right.
That he would take on that mantle. That would be his second career calling.
Right.
But we haven't heard that from him, and he continues to insist, I want to play football.
Right.
So he's going to have to be very convincing in the short interview that they have set aside time for, that I'm all about football. I'm 100% all in to become a franchise quarterback again.
Right.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see how he handles this one.
No mercy.
Despite Patrick Beverley shadowing James Harden all night, the Beard didn't have any trouble dropping 47 points. The Rockets jumped out to a 16-point first-quarter lead and hung on to win by 9. And after the game, Russell Westbrook went off about Beverley, saying that he can't guard anybody and that he's tricked anyone who thinks he can play defense. Kawhi Leonard had 26 points in the loss, and Clippers head coach Doc Rivers got ejected with less than 2 minutes remaining in the game. So, Shannon, what was your biggest takeaway from this one?
I'm watching James Harden get it going.
Yeah.
And Barry got it going. And I'm said, hold on, wait a minute now. So, Skip says my TVs. So I went downstairs.
Oh.
I got some really nice TVs. I got 2 in my in the white room. I don't go in there very often.
Oh.
So I cut them on 84-inch, curved, 4K. So I wanted to make sure, because the other TV, the 55-inch that was in my bedroom.
Why is it called the white room?
Because it's a white couch.
Fancy?
It's a white couch.
Like a fancy?
Yeah. And I keep the doors locked because Tonka go in there and get on the couch. Tonka go in there and get on the couch.
You don't let your dogs on the couch?
I do, but I don't want him in there sleeping on the couch, Skip, because he'd be in there sleeping on the couch. When I get home, he rested like he had a hard night work. But anyway.
Hazel owns every couch in the house.
Certain couches they can get on.
Okay.
So I go downstairs and I'm saying, because I'm thinking I'm seeing Kawhi on P.J. Tucker, who's not an offensive threat.
Well, he can shoot threes.
I'm seeing him on P, so I go downstairs, I cut the TV on, and I see Beard cooking. Now, he cooking Pat Bev. Now, Pat Bev is a try-hard guy, Skip. He's been all around the world, Israel and Europe, and trying to make it. He the CBA, and so, but he's only can do so much because he's so small. James Harden is a big man. He's a big 2-guard. Kevin Durant is a 7-foot monster. So he can do some things. He can disrupt a little bit. And so I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. The Clippers, everybody's told me, is the best defensive team in basketball, and they're going to be even better when they get Paul George. Kawhi Leonard is the best two-way player in basketball, and it's not even close. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. I just need to know why he didn't have James Harden. After he started cooking Pat Bev, Kawhi Leonard, if you that dog that Skip Bayless and everybody say you are, you go to Doc Rivers and say, Doc, enough of this bleep. I got it. And you lock him down. Because I remember a 28-year-old LeBron James when he was in Miami, first team all defense, give him to me. KD, you want this, come get some. I didn't see that. Now, I've seen him play 2 guys that can score points, and he didn't want any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Booker from Phoenix, and I saw James Harden go get 47 on his team.
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing, Skip Bayless? He had load management. He's not going to play tonight. Why couldn't he take James Harden and slow that down? Okay, if you don't want to take him in the first 3 quarters, the fourth quarter. Because you know Beard, this game is nip and tuck. So you know Beard is looking to take it over. Russ didn't have it last night. So you know the one man that can bring this thing home, that can deliver.
Yep.
Like Moses brought him out. He brought him out, Skip. It's James Harden. He got the beard just like him, Skip. Kawhi wanted no parts of it. I just need to know why. Why wouldn't, because you see what's happening, Skip? You notice he's a facilitator now. If you notice, his assist total is going up, but that efficiency is coming down. And he load managing. He load management, taking a night off, and he's load managing now on the court. I need to know why. I need to know why, because you killed, and I kept telling you. I said, now I remember, because I go back way back watching. I said, normally, the superstars don't guard other superstars because it would make them expend too much energy. They would have nothing on the offensive end. You look at Larry Bird, he guarded the worst offensive threat for the opposing team. Magic Johnson wasn't running around chasing guards. They left that to Byron Scott or Cooper Loop. No, if LeBron James is that guy that you said he is, he would do it. I need to know why. James Harden started cooking, and Kawhi would not stop it. The fire was going. He the fireman. You supposed to put that out. Don't you got that fire retardant? Don't you got that stuff that is sprayed and just shut it down?
Something.
Because I remember, and everybody remembers, when that 6'9" guy from Akron, get hot if you want to, D-Wade, I got it. D-Wade, I got it.
That was a long time ago.
So guess what? That was a long time ago, because he's about to be 35. And this guy right here is 28 years of age, playing 32 minutes a night. When LeBron James was 28, he played 38 minutes a night. And I need to know why. And he wasn't load managing. He's load managing, playing 32 minutes, and he's load managing when he plays James Harden. He load manages when he plays Devin Booker. I need to know why, Skip. I need answers. I want the truth.
You know what amuses me about this?
You.
I call you Shannon Sharpe because you are the perfect reflection of your man, LeBron James. And right now, on live national TV, you just showed us what's really operating right now inside LeBron's head.
What?
LeBron is incredibly threatened and haunted and tormented by the fact that Kawhi Leonard is taking over LeBron's stage at Staples in his town. The new New Balance commercial says Kawhi Town, this exit, and Kawhi has exited to Staples to play for the Clippers. But you are missing the point and the boat. Yes, he's load managing because what was yesterday? I lose track of the dates. It was November what? 13th. 13th. Okay. He is telling Doc Rivers, I don't do November 13th. I don't care who it is. I don't do it. The old NBA adage, the oldest one, the oldest cliche is the season doesn't even start until Christmas Day, which was when LeBron's ended last year, right?
Yes.
So how is LeBron reacting to Kawhi Leonard? He's out of his mind to play as hard as he can against everybody, including Golden State.
That's what we do.
So on the night that Kawhi Leonard is telling Doc, I don't want any part of him.
That's what he told him.
I don't do November 13th. I don't do James Harden at Houston on November 13th. I'll play some offense. I'll facilitate. I'll take P.J. Tucker, but I will not take James Harden on November 13th. You can like it or you can lump it because that's the guy who took over the playoffs last year and carried the Raptors to their first and probably only ever championship. And he was somehow the MVP of the NBA Finals, and you cannot take it away from him.
What I
said
to.
He's got that on his record. He's got the ultimate cachet, and the whole world wanted Kawhi Leonard on their team, including your team. They were all but crawling for this guy, and instead he said, nah, LeBron, I'm going to leave you guys high and dry. I'm going to go over here to Doc's team because they love me, and they're going to let me do what I do, and I'd rather be over here in the shadows. And we'll take on the king in his palace. And he's doing it already. He's load managing on even the nights that he plays.
Yeah.
And again, the great John Hollinger wrote a piece. Again, he's the guy who invented PER. Writing for The Athletic. He, for 7 years, was an executive for the Memphis Grizzlies, so he really knows this business from the inside. And he wrote this piece, a scathing commentary about how silly the load management debate is based around Kawhi Leonard. And the opening line is, "Welcome to the dumbest debate in sports," because he says all the forward-thinking teams for years have implemented this strategy because the evidence from medical and training staffs became overwhelming that it was a better way to manage a basketball team. Because today's kids, starting with LeBron, had played so much AAU basketball.
So LeBron play AAU?
Yeah, he did.
So he load managing too?
Yeah. Okay, well, he's not load managing. He's actually, this is what you call, what's the Bible say? Pride goeth before the fall. He's trying to anti-PR Kawhi Leonard. He's trying to win the PR battle by saying, what was his line the other night?
Yeah,
LeBron, you thinking about load management? He says, he went third person, remember? He said, if LeBron is healthy, LeBron is going to play.
That's what he should do.
Okay.
Because that's what you get paid to do.
Okay. But it's November, and LeBron's out there gutting it out, trying to pad his stats against what's left of the Golden State Warriors.
How he pad his stats? He don't play 26 minutes.
Well, he was shooting like crazy. He got up a bunch of shots.
Was AD there last night?
No, he was not.
Okay, then. Okay. So where was he going to get scored from?
You think they could have won that game without LeBron and AD?
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
That's a deep basketball team. I got to tell you.
They're not winning that game without LeBron or AD.
LeBron took 21 shots in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Way to go. And he scored 23 points. It was good.
Talk about that other thing what he had.
Okay.
The 12 assists.
Okay.
Them dimes.
He's leading the league.
His team was 12 or 13 on when LeBron assisted shot. They only missed one shot. They're so sweet he have no choice but to put the ball in the basket.
ESPN asked LeBron, would you like to lead the league in assists? Doesn't matter to me. I'm not concerned with that. Yes, he is.
No, we're not.
Yes, he is. Sorry.
See?
It's just another little caveat. Well, Jordan never led the league in assists because he didn't want to.
Exactly. So LeBron doesn't want to. Yeah. When LeBron told you, he says, I'm going to let AD take this thing over, I'm going to ride shotgun. He did that.
So everybody is load managing except LeBron James. And again, LeBron's season ended virtually on Christmas Day when the season was supposed to start. And help me out, was LeBron around for the playoffs last year? No. Was Kawhi around for the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes. Does Kawhi know how to do this now? Yes. Will Doc let him? You better believe it.
So we're gonna take an isolated incident. We saw this one time.
I know.
So if they've been load managing for all these years, so is Siakam and Van Fleet any good? Did you see what they did to Portland? So I guess these guys right now, because it looks to me that Van Fleet and Siakam will make the All-Star team.
Well, did you see what they did to the Lakers?
Okay, then. Yeah. So don't make it seem like that he went up there with a bunch of bums and won the title, because he didn't. Okay. Because you see what Siakam and Van Fleet are doing currently.
Okay. So LeBron is not playing this smartly. He should be taken off every back-to-back. Last night, there's no way he should have played. It didn't matter.
Because that's what he does.
They're a good team. They're better than I thought they were. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But the point was, even if they'd lost to the Dubs at home, it's possible it's a long shot. That probably wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't matter.
We don't set bad habits.
It's November the 13th.
We don't set bad habits.
It just doesn't matter.
We don't set
Nobody
bad
cares. Nobody will remember.
Hold on. If nobody cares and the season doesn't start after Christmas, why in the hell did somebody put so much emphasis on opening day when the Clippers and the Lakers had a playoff atmosphere? Who cares if the season doesn't start till Christmas?
It was a statement.
Wait
a second. For a team that doesn't have its co-star right now until tonight. Paul George is returning. So Kawhi has been doing this solo.
Doing what? Taking nights off? He taking nights off?
Well, until the other day, he was leading the league in fourth quarter scoring. And by the way...
And how did he lose last night?
In the fourth quarter, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because he made a shot, a three-point shot, on which he got fouled, and the ball went in, and that, guess what? When he made the free throw, that put the visiting team Clippers up 84-80 with 6:52 left.
Yes.
Then, again, James made some free throws, and here he came again. And Kawhi made a little pull-up jumper, and that made it 86-85 Clippers. And then what happened, Mr. Sharpe, after that?
James Harden went bonkers.
James Harden went crazy. From that point on, at 86-85, James Harden scored 15 of his 17 fourth-quarter points. That is extraordinary.
With Kawhi on the court? Kawhi got to suss that out.
Well, he made two big shots as opposed to LeBron at Phoenix the other night in the fourth quarter. He stunk it up.
What good is that,
He went
Skip?
3 for 9 and 0 for 3 from the free throw line?
You got an arsonist out there, which is James Harden, just setting your butt on fire, and Kawhi ain't putting none of them out.
So guess what? The arsonist, let's say when these teams meet for the final time this year, Rockets and Clippers, and by the way, I give the Rockets a shot to be in this mix. In fact, I said before the year, I said it's going to be Rockets-Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. And I'm going to stand by that, even though I am impressed with the Lakers. But the point is that down the stretch of this game, James Harden showed you he is the most extraordinary 6'5" or below scorer we've ever seen. I'm going to put the limitation on it. I have to go 6'5" or below.
Crazy.
But he's just crazy great.
I've never seen anything like it.
Listen, in the fourth quarter, he goes 9 of 9 from the free throw line with the game teetering.
And that's the thing.
9 of 9?
He shoots 15 free throws a night, and he's making 14 of them.
It's unbelievable to me. And by the way, Russell Westbrook went off on Patrick Beverly after the game and said he's tricking you guys. He ain't playing no defense. That it's all sort of smoke and mirrors. It's all just a lot of activity. And then he said, look what happened. James went for 47.
But Skip, Russ should have picked a game in which he also went off to say Pat Beverly. Russ is the guy. It's like two guys in the car, Jade. I don't know if you know anything about this, but two guys in the car. It's always the guy riding shotgun. Hey, girl, come on, holler at your boy. Get in a ride with us.
Okay.
It's not your car.
Okay.
You were talking about what James did. Okay. You didn't do it.
Okay, that's fair, except for this. We got to see one play and one shot that was the turnaround shot of this game. It was made by Russell Westbrook, and it knocked me off my chair because I didn't see this coming. This is the go-ahead shot. That changed the game. And he doesn't make many of them, but that was a big clutch turnaround shot.
Yeah, well, Skip, he was clanking them.
Okay, he's clanking them. He's 6 for 20. But that turned the tide, and then James said, I will drive you home. You can ride shotgun the rest of the way. Okay, but I got to defend little Pat Bev because I love him. I love Pat Bev. And there is some smoke and mirrors because he's got to get in your head as well as up into your
body. Yes.
Right?
Okay. I saw this on ESPN, but second level stats. The times he guarded James straight up, man-to-man, solo, James went 0 for 6 and 0 for 2 from 3 with 4 turnovers. So Patrick Beverly, when he was on him solo, disrupted James Harden last night.
So who are you getting 47 on?
Okay, well, on everybody else. And again, can Patrick Beverly keep up that kind of energy for 48 minutes? No, he can't.
He fouled him out, Skip.
I know. He's just going to foul him out.
So.
And by the way, Russell Westbrook had 4 fouls in the first quarter, and I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just want to know why. This man out there setting fires and Kawhi just watching him.
Oh, yeah.
He burning your house down, Kawhi. You're not going to say anything. You're not going to tell.
Too concerned.
You need to DM your man and tell him to back off.
No.
He needs to start going Kawhi. Pride goeth before the fall.
Because you know what, Skip? Some little kid drove all the way up from a long ways away to see Goat James. And he may never see Goat James again.
And if Goat James has a pulled groin on Christmas Day, the little kid doesn't get to watch him anymore.
You know what?
Real world, you don't get to take days off.
You know.
Load management around here. We can try that out. I could maybe, need a little more hours of sleep, but
I've never load managed one topic in my whole career.
That's
Not
what
in my whole career.
Well, you only won 2 since you've been here with me.
Really?
You only won 2, so you might need a load manage a little more.
I'm going to leave you with your delusion.
We are going to have a rematch between these two teams. The Rockets will come to Staples next Friday, so maybe we'll switch it up a little bit.
I'm taking James Harden to get 50.
Okay. You can have
He gonna cook Paul George. He gonna cook Paul George and Kawhi.
And I'll take the Clippers to go farther than the Lakers.
Oh, we already got that, man.
No mercy.
After losing their 4th game of the season, on Sunday, Jerry Jones was left with more questions than answers. When asked if he was disturbed by the Cowboys' run defense giving up 153 yards, Jerry had this to say.
I don't know that I have too many weeks regarding the Cowboys that I'm not disturbed. There are all kinds of things. About the time, it's like holding 2 handfuls full of Jell-O. And about the time that you stop it from coming out the middle finger by the forefinger, about the time you start it over there, then it starts coming out the other side. And that's what makes this game so great. That's what makes the challenge so great. and you think you've got it figured out, and 2 games later, the defense you face will have had it figured out for you.
That Jell-O analogy, so Jerry. Shannon, what exactly is Jerry saying here?
Skip, Jerry loves his Jerryisms and those colloquial sayings, but all he had to say, if it's not one thing, it's another. One week it's the offense, the next week it's the defense, and then it could have been, we could have made a 38-yard field goal, get to an opportunity to onside the kick, and then we messed that up special teams-wise.
Yep.
But Jerry had to be in Jerry fashion, like holding 2 handfuls of Jell-O. Skip, the thing, but all that being said, and as funny as it may be, that doesn't sound like a man that's confident in his team, does it, Skip?
True.
That doesn't sound like a man confident in his team, because it's the inconsistency that bothers him, Skip. Basically what Jerry's saying, I don't believe I got the right coach for this. That's what he's saying. He says, because look what I was saying. He said, coming into the season, we got a new offensive coordinator, and will Dak progress? Well, Dak has played better than you thought he would play. And all I got to show for it is a 5-4 record. With all this talent, Pro Football Focus said Dallas is the most talented football team. Top to bottom, player for player, offense, defense, special team-wise, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott leads the NFL in QBR. And all I got to show for it is 5-4? Something ain't right. That's what Jerry's saying, Skip Bayless.
Okay.
And you think I like bringing bad news to you?
No.
Well, it's only going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I can only imagine what he's going to say when they're on the precipice of missing the playoffs with like 3 games.
On it right now.
No, I don't want it right now. I don't want it right now. I want them Cowboy fans, those delusional Cowboy fans, led by you. I want you to have your hopes up. I want you to think you're going to get what you think you're going to get for Christmas. And when you come downstairs, Santa left you a note.
Nothing worse than
You've
that.
been bad. You get jacked. That's what I want to happen to you. That's what I want to happen.
I just had a deja vu moment because I heard exactly the same thing across the table when they were 3-5 1 year ago.
Okay.
So
you keep.
I even heard it when they were 4-5 after they had gone to win at Philly.
You keep saying that.
I heard it at 5-5, and then 6-5, and 7-5, and 8-5. That's when I heard it.
And then you heard Orlando Scandrick come out here a couple of weeks ago and say the thing with the Eagles is they keep living in the past. They keep thinking that they're that Super Bowl team and they're about to jump on this magic carpet. It ain't happening.
I will give you this. The problem with this Cowboy team, it's living in the future as if we've got this. We're this great. We've got to be this great. You can't just think you're going to be that great. So back to the Jell-O analogy. It's another off-target head scratcher from Jerry because if you actually look at it in the literal sense, Jell-O's pretty solid, so if I have 2 handfuls of Jell-O, it's not going to leak through my fingers, I don't think.
No.
If I had 2 handfuls of soup or something, I don't know, it would go through your fingers, right?
Jerry didn't
Unless you squeeze it.
That's how you made.
Right?
Jerry didn't let the Jell-O reach its full potential and didn't let it put it in the
It wasn't in
fridge.
their fridge long enough.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's what happens.
No, I think Jerry was thinking of it as like one of those balls you squeeze because you're under pressure, stress balls. Like he's squeezing the Jell-O so hard it's just squishing through every finger, and you can't plug all the leaks because it's leaking through all crevices in your hand, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we get what he was trying to say because I always know what he's trying to say.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense how he's trying to say it.
Right. Jerry, that's good.
I will give you this. This team has been wildly, dangerously inconsistent, not game to game, quarter to quarter, series to series on both offense and defense. And yet, I'm going to say this again. The only thing this team has had going for it for 9 games is the quarterback. The quarterback has been extraordinary because, as you point out, as you always do, he's leading the league in QBR. Thank you for pointing that out. But let me go you 2 better. Pro Football Focus now says the Dallas Cowboy receivers are dead last in separation. How many yards, what's the gap between the receiver and the defender when the ball arrives? They are ranked dead last. That means the degree of difficulty for the quarterback it's the highest.
It might be because the quarterback is late with the ball and is giving the defensive back an opportunity to catch back up.
Sorry.
Have you thought about that?
No, I have not, because the Dallas Cowboys are also tied for second in drops in the National Football League. Tied for second in drops with the least separation. The quarterback he's having an MVP quality season for a team that's 5-4. So he's not in the MVP conversation because you can completely quickly disqualify him. He's 5-4,
yeah.
right?
What about them 8-9 picks?
Okay, well,
disqualified. No, stop doing that, Skip.
2 Hail Marys, it's just not. Okay, you can't be number 1 in QBR with picks that really matter. It won't work. So, what are the problems? It's not the quarterback. Why are they 5-4? Well, let's start with, shall we, the running back.
Oh,
and again, I don't want to pile on here, but
you piling on.
Emmitt Smith is now 8th in the league in rush yards.
You
this
mean
is
Zeke?
the guy. I mean, I'm sorry, Emmitt Smith. Zeke
like,
Elliott,
whoa.
8th in the league in rush yards. He's I was going to make a comparison to Emmitt Smith. Zeke is now 16th in yards per attempt. 16th. This is not my guy.
That's a hold on. What about the offensive line, Skip?
Okay, thank you. I'll give you part. That's part of this equation. That's part of the problem. All those overpaid offensive linemen have been getting their golden tails whipped all too often on too many
overpaid?
downs. Yep, all of them. Well, they're not playing up to their level. Because what was Jerry's quote that we just heard? We have outstanding football players. Mm-hmm. They're not playing outstanding football, right? Are they living? Who's living up to their contract? Well, Dak is because his is
right now,
right?
He superseded his contract.
Okay, and again, Zeke has fallen to 19th in Pro Football Focus's elusivity rating, the making you miss. So he's 19th.
He's never been that.
But as a rookie, he had some of that going on. And I thought
very little, Skip.
Okay, well, he does. Once he got in the secondary, he could make some miss. So now this brings me to my defense, shall we? The defense is 14th in the league in takeaways. That's not a playoff defense. You know that, and I know that. This team is tied for 16th in turnover differential. They're 0, so they're flat. It's like they're not bad or good.
Whatever they get, the quarterback give it back.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. They're tied for 18th now in sacks. That won't get you home.
No. They got to be. They should be better than that.
They should be better than that. And they have plummeted to 19th in time of possession when, remember those good old days back in 2016?
They led the league in time of possession.
Led the league. So what has changed?
Your quarterback.
No Zeke. He could pound away. And what did Dak used to be? He used to be, because you would disqualify him for this, Dink and Dak.
Yep.
He's now 3rd in the league in air distance. So he is throwing the ball, as opposed to what you believe he does, down the field. And when they score, it can be lightning striking. It can be deep strike scoring. So they're not controlling the ball for long drives and keeping the defense off the field the way they used to.
Exactly. So what do we have to do about, those first 3 drives when they didn't do anything and the defense had to get on the field?
The first 3 drives, they did a whole lot. They drove into Minnesota territory all 3 times. And what did I tell you? There were 2 plays in a row where Amari fell down. Remember that? And is actually the previous one. Jason Witten hit him right in the hands to move the ball to the 25, and he dropped it.
Skip.
He dropped it.
You know what?
It was a cold drop. They're tied for 2nd in drops. Would you believe Michael Gallup leads the league in drop passes?
First
of all,
that? No. What I don't like is you talking about, they were moving the ball up and down the field and they got the Skip, look, you know what I did? I stopped going into Harry Winston's and Tiffany's because I couldn't buy Jack. So what good is that, Skip, if you move the ball up and down the field, you can't get the ball in the end zone? You got to be able to buy something.
I feel like you can buy plenty.
I can't afford
once a year.
I can afford Rochelle and Quita. I can't afford Tiffany. Tiffany costs too much. I get a red box with a stamp on it, not no blue box with a bow.
Ooh.
What's
I like
a red
those
box?
blue boxes.
Yeah, that's what Rochelle and Quita get.
Really?
Okay. No Tiffany for you.
No,
Good to know.
I can't afford it. Just like the Cowboys can't afford to get in the end zone. And it's all your quarterback's fault. See, you know what, Skip?
All my quarterback. I just showed you. You know what? You're just dead in the water with your argument.
But Skip,
he just keeps making you eat more and more crow.
But Skip,
all you got right now is 5-4. That's all you got.
And the Eagles have played terrible this year. And we tied for the lead with the Cowboys.
You're not tied.
We tied.
We beat you. We have the tiebreaker.
5-4.
Well, right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, who would go?
We didn't start tomorrow.
Well, if they did, who would go? You're not tied. You lost.
Yeah, that's true.
You lost.
Can't avoid it.
I'm still in first place. You're in second place. Second place does not go to the playoffs in this division.
But here's the thing. The problem that I have is that when the Cowboys lose, you have yet to place any blame on Dak Prescott, even though he scored 3 points in 3 games in the first half. That's not Dak's fault. It's the running back's fault. It's the O-line. At what point in time does the quarterback take some responsibility or culpability in what's going on wrong with the offense?
Do you see a bad game that he played? Give me a bad game. Give me one where you say, that was atrocious.
See, what you're doing is that you look at, because, okay, he almost brought him back. But, Skip, he dug the hole that we ended up falling in. So he doesn't get no credit for almost getting out.
Holes.
Yeah.
I see the defense digging a whole bunch of holes.
He scored 3 points in the first half against the Giants. He scored 3 points in the first half against New Orleans, and he scored 3 points in the first half against somebody else they lost to. So I'm just trying, Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. So was Dak not the quarterback then? What good is that QBR?
Do they get to play the third and fourth quarter, or it doesn't count?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
But here's the thing, Skip.
Games, 4 quarters. Show me a 4 quarters where you say, that was atrocious.
Skip, the thing is you dug the hole so deep.
Russell Wilson, you say, Russell Wilson's the runaway MVP. He throws a red zone interception that is absolutely
Your guy's not Russell Wilson.
Cardinal sin unacceptable. It's indefensible. It's like, what? It's mind-blowing. He did that. It should have cost them the Monday Night Football game. Didn't hear a peep from you about that.
Because you know why?
Russell Wilson, late in the game, as early in the fourth quarter, got strip-sacked for a scoop and score. Did I hear about that on Monday? Nope. He's the MVP.
Because you know
really?
Has
my quarterback gotten strip-sacked for a scoop and score the whole year? Zero times. Zero.
But see, this is why I didn't mention it. Because Russell has done something your quarterback has yet to do. Dig them a hole and then dig them completely out of it. Not half the way. See, Skip, if you dig a hole, I need you to dig me all the way out, not just so I can peep over the top and see my way out.
Help me out.
I need to get out.
How deep a hole did Russ dig at home in Seattle against those same New Orleans Saints that Dallas lost to? It was 33-14 with 3 minutes to go in the football game. Help me out.
Yeah, they lost.
Is that a hole?
No.
Where was Russell Wilson, your MVP, your runaway MVP?
They lost 2 games. Your guys have lost 4 games.
Well, sometimes you get breaks, and his defense is way better than my defense.
And in Russ, I trust it shouldn't be. There's no way his defense should be better than yours. With all
it just is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. In fact, Pro Football Focus ranks DeMarcus Lawrence the highest Cowboy defensive player at 27th. We don't even have a top 25 player. Jalen Smith's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I don't see how to. I'm talking about your quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your quarterback putting you in harm's way.
Extraordinary.
He's putting you in harm's way in the first half, Skip.
No.
And you're taking too many. You're taking on too much water. You're taking on too much water, Skip. You can't get it out fast enough.
You realize there's this thing called defense, and if the defense doesn't keep the other team out of the end zone, the scoreboard starts to tilt in favor of the visiting.
But I need my offense.
Yeah.
I need my offense. I need. You say you got the best quarterback in the NFL. I need him to show that.
I did not say that, but he's top 5.
You tell you that, brothers, top 5 brother quarterbacks.
That's all you got.
Where did Lamar come on your list for that one?
Well, I mean, the top 5. I mean, Mahomes, Russ, Lamar, Deshaun, Dak. I throw Dak in there. I throw Dak a bone. Dak or Cam ain't playing right now. If Cam were playing, he couldn't make the top 5 brothers.
No mercy. Lamar Jackson is turning his Heisman legacy into pro success as he has launched himself into the thick of the MVP race. Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman has built the team's offense around Lamar's unique skill set, which has helped the QB to turn a corner in his second season. NFL writer Jeffrey Chadia compared what the Ravens have done with Lamar to how the Broncos found success by tailoring their game plan around the mobile Heisman winner Tim Tebow. How about a little Tebow in the news with us? Shannon, is there any comparison between what the Broncos did for Tebow and what the Ravens are doing with Lamar?
No. They haven't done anything more than what any other team. See, this notion is that if you're a running quarterback, they tailor the offense to your skill set. Well, hell, you don't think Aaron Rodgers' offense is tailored to what he does really well? And Tom Brady and Drew Brees? Of course.
That's all conventional. That's the way it's always been done.
But the notion that, this offense, Sean Payton, did he call plays the exact same way for Teddy Bridgewater as he did Drew Brees, or he tailored the offense to what Teddy Bridgewater does really well? Of course. Skip, look, this notion that he's the only guy that's ever had a system that was custom built for him is really disingenuous. First of all, Timbo rode a great defense, a great field goal kicker to an 8-8 record. They lost their last 3 games, Jenny, and they lost the final game of the season 7-3. Matt Prater had to kick 60-yard field goals. You had to get a situation where the guy from Chicago runs out of bounds, stop the clock. Hold on, something else. Lamar team. Did you know, Skip, Lamar Jackson team leads the NFL in scoring? Tim Tebow in his 11 starts, they averaged 18.5 points a game, which was 24th Lamar Jackson's team is averaging 33.3, which is number one. So other than them both winning the Heisman Trophy, both having good legs, I don't really see the similarities. Tim Tebow was never, ever as dynamic of a runner or a passer in the NFL as this kid. It's not even comparable. So if you want to say, well, they both won the Heisman, sure, in their junior season. Well, Tim won his in his sophomore season, excuse me. But Skip, stop. That's where it stops. That's where it ends. There's no comparison. It's not even close. And the reason why the Broncos moved on, they realized that, you know what? The likelihood of our defense holding teams to 10 points. And when they went on that 5-game winning streak, Skip, they were winning games 17-13, 10-7, 13-10. You can't play like that.
Oh.
So.
Really?
No.
Those didn't count?
Skip.
They said, oh, you didn't score enough, you lose.
Do you believe?
Right?
There's a reason why, and the reason why the Ravens, after that historic defense in 2000, they say, what's the likelihood of our defense coming back and giving up another 165 points for the entirety of the season? You're going to have to score. The one thing that this team can do, because their defense, the Ravens defense is good, it's not dynamic, it's not great, they can put points on the board. And the Broncos, they struggled doing that. It was a defensive battle, and Matt Prater, time after time, had to walk on the field at the end of the day and kick 60-yarders, 58-yard field goals. If you think that's sustainable for a 5 or 10-year time frame, it's not.
Okay. So help me out here. Tim
Sure.
Tebow in 2011 started 11 games stretch. And how many times did he walk into your restaurant and you said, come on in, Tim? How many times out of 11?
That's not what we...
Seven out of 11 times he came to your restaurant and you said, come on in. And by the way, he was the most famous player who ever walked into your restaurant.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No.
Name somebody more famous. Dak. Dak's lived at your restaurant.
Yeah,
He's got his own private room with bottle service.
Especially last month.
Yeah.
Specials as well.
Yeah. Here's what happened. Tim Tebow blazed a trail. He opened a door that Lamar is running through. And I will be the first to give you this. Lamar's a better thrower. The football, even though he's not a great thrower, but he's better than Tim Tebow, maybe markedly better than Tim.
Yeah.
Until crunch time. Tim Tebow was really good in crunch time throwing the football. But I'm also going to give you this. Lamar's a way better runner than Tim Tebow. And Tim was a credible runner in the NFL.
They were different types of runners.
Okay.
One was more of a bulldozer, more of a pickup truck. The other guy was a Lamborghini Ferrari.
Right, because I think Tim went 245-ish, somewhere in there, right in there, 250-ish. And he could run over you occasionally on 3rd and 4. He could run over you, keep it on the read option, right? So what happened? That team was 1-4, just dead in the Denver water. And John Elway had taken over. John Fox had taken over. New regime. They did not draft Tim Tebow. Who did? Josh McDaniels, now calling plays for Tom Brady. Josh McDaniels was gone. He had gotten fired over another incident that had nothing really to do with actually coaching the football team, but he was out.
Yeah.
But what did he say? Again, I said before the draft that year, yeah, I'd take Tim at the bottom of the first round, only if I was committed to letting him run his college offense.
Right. Okay.
Well, who's going to do that? Probably nobody. But I said I would. I'd take that shot because he will win football games as a starting quarterback if you let him do what Urban Meyer let him do at Florida.
Got it.
Josh McDaniels took him 25th, bottom of the first round. And I don't know what Josh's plan was for Tim because we never got to really see it, right? He was gone in Tim's rookie year at mid-year, right?
Yep. Yeah, after they came back from London. He got
that was it.
He got his camera out, Jenny.
Yep, got his camera out, and he was out.
Yes.
So we get to the next year, and Kyle Orton is the starting quarterback for 5 games, and they are just abysmal. They are dismal. They're unwatchable. So Elway and Fox finally said, let's get this Tebow thing over with. People are clamoring for Tim Tebow. Let's give him Tim Tebow at Miami in game number 6.
Yep.
And you know the rest of the story. It's NFL history because I'm not sure any quarterback's ever gone on a more unlikely run than Tebow went on for the rest of the year. They won in overtime, thanks to Matt Prater at Miami, but he set up that field goal with a couple of big completions. And Eric Mangini, who's also on the show, he contributes here, but he's on our show on ESPN. repeatedly said in 2011, the weird thing about Tim Tebow is he gets deadly accurate in the last 5 minutes of games. It's like he's going to will the football where it's supposed to go. There's a lot of that in his intangible makeup, right?
Yeah.
So what did we see? We saw him lead the NFL in QBR over the last 5 minutes of all those 11 games leading to the playoff game at home against Pittsburgh. And what happened in that game? He threw for 316 in that game. And they rushed for a bunch of yards because guess what he had turned them into? The number one rushing attack in pro football. So the phrase that I hate the most, but I always use, there are different ways to skin this cat. Well, he was skinning it a whole different way than anybody had ever skinned it because they were leading the league in rushing. They were controlling the football. They were often keeping the defense off the field. It had been awful for the first 5 games. It had the capability with Von Miller to be pretty good. And yet that style, that sort of recipe was winning a lot of football games. It was. Okay, so it worked. And then I saw something in that article you mentioned that Tebow couldn't sustain. Well, he never got a chance to sustain it because that was the end of Tim Tebow, as we knew and for a moment loved him. Because Denver had Peyton Manning knocked on the door in the offseason. Can I play here? Yeah. Would I go with Peyton Manning over Tim Tebow? You better.
Well, they was moving on if had Peyton not knocked on their door.
Okay, well, whatever. So Rex Ryan acquired Tim Tebow and promised him, according to Tim on the phone, I'm going to give you a shot to win the starting job. He didn't get a shot with the Jets. So again, they weren't going to give him a chance to do what Urban Meyer did at Florida.
Well, he went to what you call him, Skip, Philly.
Okay, but that was in the preseason. He went to the preseason. He actually played pretty well. And
No, he didn't.
Yes,
I came on your show and told you he wasn't going to make it.
Okay, well, he was playing pretty well.
No, he was not playing.
Pull that tape.
Okay, and then Belichick just liked the kid, so we brought him to camp for a minute.
You mean to tell me the guy that drafted...
Did anybody give Tim Tebow a shot? Anybody give him that kind of shot? Did anybody say, I'm going to go into game 1 next year doing this with Tim Tebow? I'm going to let him run the read option, the zone read the whole year.
Well, Skip.
Did anybody do that? No. Nobody did.
Because they was like, unless you got the 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens, or the 02 Bucks, to have an outstanding defense that's going to keep the game. Because what happens if the score is 35-0 the last 5 minutes of the game? He's moot. It doesn't matter.
They didn't get behind 35.
That was my point. The defense had to keep the game close.
Well, they had a decent defense. It hadn't played very well. Because you know what happens when you have a Tim Tebow? He lifts the whole squad. Everybody starts playing at a higher level because he's fun to be around and it's contagious energy.
Well, you Skip, you do know after he won that 18-15 game in overtime in Miami, he came right home and got beat 45-14 by Detroit. And there were some games which they got blown out. Remember they went to Buffalo? Last 3 games, they got blown out. And then they lost at home 7-3. When do you see a game 7-3?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games. We don't have time to go through all the 7 wins. There's some impressive wins in there.
But Skip, there were 2 impressive wins in there. There were the Raiders win. He scored 38, and I think he scored 35 against someone else.
At Minnesota.
At Minnesota, yes. But other than that, Skip, 10-7, 13-10, 17-13. Skip.
How about 29-23 over Roethlisberger and the Steelers? Well, how about that?
Skip.
And by the way, do you remember that last pass in overtime? I haven't seen that in a long time.
No, Skip, don't do it. Oh, my
God. Just to remind everybody, look at this. He can't throw, but, that was a good pass. Damaris is loose. He's loose.
So how much of this is Tim and how much is this is DT?
I was going to say.
This was the greatest moment of my game-watching life. Right there. That was it.
Of your life?
On the floor. Of my life.
Yes.
Of my life. I fell on the floor, and I couldn't believe it had just happened.
Why are you playing zero?
I rolled over and over like I was on fire.
Why are you playing zero? Why are you playing zero in this situation?
Don't try to nitpick. It just happened.
You know
you know why? Because they didn't think he could throw. Well, boom. Gotcha.
There you go.
Yep. The sky fell on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I tell you what, I give you 2011 Tim Tebow, or I give you right now Lamar Jackson. Who you taking?
Obviously, I'm taking Lamar Jackson, but do not underestimate Tebow in his prime. He's an older player now, but the winning intangibles were off the charts.
Well, Lamar got those.
Yeah. I think he does too. I would agree. But I'm just saying that blazed the trail. Thanks to Mike McCoy. I got to give Mike McCoy some credit because he just scrapped the whole offense. Kyle Orton's offense and said, no, we're going to do this. And all of a sudden, Willis McGahee and Tim Tebow are leading the league in rushing. That'll work.
Yeah.
That's another way to score.
But what happens if you don't lead the league in rushing?
Okay.
And you got to throw the ball.
Okay, but you did lead the league in rushing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what?
But the Ravens not leading the league in rushing.
Okay,
He's throwing the ball.
But at least the blueprint got laid down right before the league's eyes. Wait a second, they did that.
Skip,
they won a playoff game.
Lamar Jackson is 4th in the NFL through 4 quarters, not leading the NFL the last 5 minutes of the game.
I got it. I didn't say Tim Tebow's better than Lamar, but at least somebody said, watch this. This had never been done before in this league. Not like this.
Okay.
That was all read option. It was all college offense.
No mercy.
So with less than 2 minutes left in the game, Clippers head coach Doc Rivers got into a heated argument with officials over a miscommunication about how many timeouts the Clippers had. Doc's son, Austin, who plays for the Rockets, was signaling to officials to throw his dad out of the game after Doc was ejected. Austin then was waving to the crowd, getting them pumped up, and gave his dad the phone signal as if to kind of say, give me a call later. Yeah. So after the game, Austin tweeted, well, Thanksgiving, gonna be a bit weird. Doc said he didn't mind what Austin did. Shannon, what do you make of all this?
I loved it. That's my dad, but not for these 48 minutes
right
while
now.
we play in the game, Skip. And all the time you made me go to my room, go to the coach's room. Loved it. Tee him up. You hear this man yelling and screaming and cursing, tee him up.
So you're saying it's like a little kid would do, right?
Yep.
I got you, Daddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Tee him up.
Okay.
Skip, I was very fortunate enough to play against my brother twice when he was with the Packers. I was with the Broncos. Get him! Don't let him catch it. Tee him up. You get nothing. When they knock a pass out, you get nothing. No.
Yeah, but when you were playing one-on-one growing up and he kept beating you, you take the ball and throw it over the fence.
I did. Hold on. Who told you that?
You told it on the air.
Why you bringing up old stuff?
Throw it over
you
the
told
fence.
it on the air.
I did.
Well,
God.
thank you. I got you again.
You guys remember?
I have exactly what I would do, and he would tell my grandma she'd make me go in the woods and get it. But Skip, he just, look, I thought it was funny. I was like, because at first I'm like, am I seeing him say, like, T is that? He wanted that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's going to be 3 points. Doc is upset, Skip, because he thought he had a timeout. And he's pointing to the official. He told me I had a timeout. The guy that told him, he allegedly told him he had a timeout, he was down at the other end. It was Tony Brothers like, bro, you ain't got no timeouts. And I guess the trainers that keep track of the timeout, because they normally like, how many timeouts do I have? You got 2, or you got 1, we got no more. X got 4 fouls, he got 5 fouls. There are people that track that. And so I guess the trainer told Doc that he had a timeout left. One of the officials told Doc he had a timeout left, and come to find out, Doc didn't have any timeouts left. And so Doc is upset. You told me I had a timeout. And his son, Austin, like, nah, give him a T. That's what he gets. He got one of those, a T, and he won't stop. You know what? Like a kid, you tell you, didn't I tell you to stop? Now, okay. Doc wouldn't stop, so he had to get him another. He had to get tall. Get him up out of here. Hey, Dad, call me, because I ain't going to be able to talk to you right after the game. But call me. You got my number. Call your boy.
Then he tweeted right after the game, Thanksgiving is going to be really weird.
I loved it.
So I'm going to go a little deeper with this one. Because I know Doc and I know Austin a little bit, enough to know it has haunted and tormented both of them that the sort of label put on Austin has always been he's only in this league because his father is so respected and beloved by all the other coaches, and that his father has opened doors that no other kid would have gotten open, that he's still afloat in this league after these many years, mostly because of his father. And it drives both of them pretty nuts. So the poignant undertone to this little scenario was Austin finally saw an opening to show everybody, show the world on national TV and certainly show the home crowd. When we're playing, I'm not my father's son. I'm going to lay it on thick here. And I have never seen Austin come out of his shell quite like he came out of that shell, because he's not a grandstander. He's not a showboater. And that was kind of showboaty to me, wasn't it? Like he's just laying it on, man. He's really playing to the crowd. Tee him up. Because he's trying to send a message to the home fans and to his teammates. I want him teed. I want him tossed.
Get out of here.
Get him out of here.
My house.
And then he keeps laying on thick. Oh, call me, like sarcastically. Like, we'll talk later about this. And with the media after the game, he said, I'm not an escalator by nature. When there are fights,
Right.
I don't try to get in the middle of it.
Right.
I stay out of it.
Right.
But he got right in the middle of this,
Right.
and he escalated this situation for the home crowd, right?
Yes.
Because he's sick and tired of being perceived as Doc's son, right?
The term they use is nepotism.
Nepotism.
And
Yeah.
Skip, the thing, okay, maybe he got an opportunity, but I think there have been times that he showed he belongs in this league.
Boy, I agree with you.
Now, okay, granted, I guess when Doc left, because I think he was at the Celtics, and when Doc left, I think he was at Pelicans. But anyway, he ended up at the Clippers.
So Austin started at the Pelicans, and I liked him at Duke. I thought he was, remember he had the big shot to beat North Carolina?
Yep.
And he had hits and misses with the Pelicans. He was okay,
Right.
but then Doc acquires him with the Clippers.
Right.
Thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's always a clash of, is Doc playing his kid?
Right.
Playing favorites?
Yeah, and I guess, Big Baby was on here and said that a lot of that had to do with if he wasn't Doc's son, he wouldn't have got minutes. He probably wouldn't even been on the team.
Correct.
And so I'm sure for Big Baby, Glenn Davis, who's Big Baby, for him to say that, I'm sure he wasn't the only one that felt that way.
Correct.
And so that, and I get it.
So what was Doc finally forced to do? He had to trade his son away to, I think it was Washington, and then he got traded to some Phoenix, and they waived him, and he bounced.
Right.
Bounced around and wound up. He found a home with Houston. He's a good fit for what they do. Right? And I will say it kind of took the onus off him last night because he had a bad game. He shot the ball pretty poorly last night.
Yeah.
You see this? It's not very good.
He was 3 of 12, 1 of 8 from 3.
1 of 8, okay. So, again, it took the focus, all the antics took the focus off a bad game by him that his team managed to win. But he did not help his team. He went 0 for 4 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So, the point is that I think Doc said he loved it after the game because he knew exactly what his son was trying to do, what message was trying to be sent.
Fair.
And Doc was seriously steamed about this and had a right. And he used the word he said, I got screwed. Because they took a timeout away that he deserved.
Right.
And he knew it, and he called them on it. And then he said, I did not curse to them. He said, I did not swear, was the word he used.
Yeah.
And yet he persisted. And then Tony Brothers said, well, he's making a scene out on the court, and we're ready to resume play.
Right.
And if you persist, and I think Doc knew the handwriting was on the wall because they were down 8 at that point with a minute something left.
Yep.
And he said, I'll just go ahead and get tossed.
Yeah, I was about to, okay, you already gave me one tee. I'm just going to walk to the center of the court and just go keep walking because I already know what you're going to do. They got Caldwell Pope last night. The official said, okay, now, you made your point, let it go. And he said one more word. He said, oh, that's it. Now, it's short. Hey, look here. Okay, make your point. What'd you say?
Yeah.
I missed a foul? Okay, I'll make sure if I missed it, I apologize. Okay, we done with this conversation.
Yep.
No, but now I told you we were done with it.
Yep. So I see this label on Austin upside down from the way most people do. I have nothing but respect for Austin because he's had a higher degree of difficulty to me because people always look at him like, come on.
Right.
You're only here because of Doc.
Right.
Well, then if he misses shots, people are going to say, get him out of here.
Exactly.
Right?
And the thing is, Skip, is that Doc almost has to be harder on him in front of everyone than he normally would because they already think he's showing favoritism. So even if the slightest little thing, he has to jump on him to show I'm not showing favoritism. And I was going like, Dad, what was that about? That wasn't even my fault. That was Chris Paul that threw that bad pass. I know, son. Because, sometimes that's how you get to the other guys is that you harder on the guys that you know that can take it.
Yep.
So,
hey, Austin Rivers has guts.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, his dad was a heck of a player.
Yep.
It is hard, though, to be an athlete's son, to be a coach's son, because you
have to play for your dad?
have to play for him. I mean, that dynamic alone doesn't work in a lot of cases.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It's like a can't-win situation.
No. There's no way I could have played for my granddad because I'd be coming home and telling my grand on him every night.
Yep.
Yeah, it
wouldn't have no effect.
The thing. It was interesting, though. That's a good point of separating the two last night. It was a rare shot for him to do that.
No mercy.
So Baker Mayfield ranks second in the NFL in percentage of his passes being dropped. Odell Beckham Jr. was brought over in the offseason to help give Baker more weapons, but OBJ is tied with Jarvis Landry for most drops on the team and has the highest drop percentage of any receiver on the team. So, Shannon, how much is Odell to blame for the Browns' 3-6 record?
He deserves some blame, Skip, but I think the thing that what he deserves blame for is raising their level of expectation. And that's what happens when you get a bona fide number one receiver.
That's a good
You
point.
bring Odell in, you're like, oh, we got a guy now. We need that number one. We got him. Boom, here we go. Skip, truth be told, Odell ain't been that guy in a minute. Odell went to the Pro Bowl his first 3 years, 14, 15, 16. Hell, we in 2019. So what happened to 17, 18, and 19? So Odell hadn't been that guy in a minute. We keep remembering what Odell was, but Odell hadn't shown us that on a consistent level. A lot of it had to do with injuries.
Yep.
But Odell hasn't showed us that on a consistent basis in a minute. Now back to Baker. You see what they tried to do here, Jenny? But I peeped them, Skip. I got them. Oh, they lead the league in drop passes.
Yeah.
Baker is 30th in completion percentage. So that's because of the drop passes. So they dropped so many passes. That's why Baker percentage is so low. Is that why he's second in the league in interceptions? Cause they so if they drop the ball, that also goes for an interception towards the other team. Is that what I'm hearing? Is this why Baker's QBR is so low? Call it what it is. Baker has regressed. Skip, there's no other way around it. You can dress it up however you want to. You can say they drop passes. You can say Freddie Kitchens is over his head. But at the end of the day, your quarterback is not what you thought he would be coming after the year that he had in his rookie season. That's why they're in the position that they're in. It's as simple as we can make it about drop passes. We can make it about Freddie K. We can make it seem like he's targeting Odell so much. Your quarterback has regressed. Your quarterback is not what you thought or what you hoped he would be. And if your quarterback, so if Odell catches all those passes they've thrown to him, if he and Jarvis catch every ball they've thrown to him, they record better than this? When your quarterback, so how many passes did they drop against Tennessee?
So let me get this straight. You are saying that Baker Mayfield has been exposed, that this is who he really is.
I don't know who
right?
I don't know, Skip. I don't know if he's the first year or the second year or maybe somewhere in between. But everybody can tell you, Skip, he's not what he was last year.
Well, definitely not.
Well,
but I believe he is who he was last year, not this year. And by the way, you started driving that bandwagon, so are you admitting you were wrong about him last year?
Yeah, he got me wrong. They got me, Skip. You know, I bought it to the hype.
Okay.
You know, hey, had that Jim Jones Kool-Aid. You know, we went all to, Guyana Town, James, wherever that was.
Yeah, that orange
You're over
Kool-Aid.
it?
Yeah. And I was drinking it.
You're off?
Yeah, I was drinking it. Well, right now, you know, my knee a little sore. So this thing stopped about 5 weeks ago, and I got off it, Jenny. I didn't jump off it when it stopped a couple of weeks ago.
I still have hope.
Okay, I'm with you, and I'm going to take it one more step. I don't blame Odell per se. I blame his presence. I'm going to give it 60% of the blame, just his presence.
Just the persona.
Because the presence skyrocketed expectations. They got way too high, and his presence has handicapped the football thought process of this still young quarterback because he became very Odell conscious to a fault. He even said 2 weeks ago, we need to force feed the ball to Odell. Baker, you're living in the past because he, to your point, is not who he used to be.
Yeah.
You could be who you used to be. You're only in your second year.
Right.
But I've been watching Odell closely, and I watched him closely in the Buffalo game, which they managed to survive and win to get to 3-6 and set up something of a quasi-division showdown tonight, which I will be on the edge of my seat to watch because I'm very interested in both teams.
Yeah.
But
Cleveland loses this game, it's over for them.
Yeah, that's correct. But if they win, the schedule gets a little softer down the stretch. Maybe they can make a little bit of a run for this division, even though it looks like Lamar is off to the literal races.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So the point about Odell is, I'm watching Buffalo, and I had him for 3 drops through the first sort of quarter and a third. I don't know if we have a couple of, here they are. Okay, that's just a drop. Okay, you're Odell Beckham Jr. You just got both hands on that ball and you couldn't hold on to it.
I mean,
and then here's another one. That's a flat-out cold drop, right? Come on. This is Odell Beckham Jr. Come on. You're better than that. You're better than all 3 of them.
Skip, you know what? What this is a product, byproduct of, is that they see all the circus catches that he make in pregame. So they feel if you get the ball in his vicinity, he's supposed to catch everything.
Yeah, he puts on an all-time globetrotter show in the pregame.
Right.
Steph Curry-esque show.
Sure.
Or maybe I should say Steph puts on an Odell show.
Right.
He did it first.
Right.
And yet, I don't see great separation. I don't see deep burst. I don't see fifth gear that he can shift into and just run by anybody. I'm not seeing that Odell that you described in those Pro Bowl years.
No.
I don't.
Maybe injuries there, he had knee, he had ankle, skip, he's had some surgery.
He's had surgery.
He's missed some time.
And I don't know if his heart is really in playing in Cleveland, Ohio. I just don't know.
That could possibly be it also.
But Baker's heart is in making Odell a star because Baker loves it.
Baker's heart is in making commercials.
Okay, well, he did. He made 20 versions of that progressive commercial.
Yeah.
20 versions. And I think I've seen 15 of them already,
exactly.
right? And they're relentless, and it's only making it worse and worse.
Thank you.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because people feel like if you're an athlete and you do commercials, you need to be winning. Okay, why are you? Because the adage is, Skip, they forget that a lot of these commercials are taped in the off season.
Yeah.
You need to be reading your playbook. You need to be practicing. Why are you out making commercials? And people don't understand that, but people looking at Baker like, bro, you doing all these commercials and y'all losing. Go tell them to stop running those commercials. Nah, they don't put those in the can, bro.
Like an alternate version, losses.
And Progressive Insurance Company is located in Cleveland, Ohio.
Right, and he's the biggest.
He was the guy.
Right.
He was the it kid last year, and I've been around Baker enough to know he likes being a star, and I'm not criticizing. He just likes being a star.
Yeah.
And he likes his friendship, and he likes to socialize with Odell Beckham Jr. because Odell's a big star. He's got star quality.
Yeah.
So Baker wants to help make him a star because he controls the sugar. He's got the sugar in his hand. He wants to pass the sugar to Odell, right? And he is force-feeding him balls when he's not worthy of force-feeding, right? He leads the team in targets with 79, but he only has 44 catches. He's caught one touchdown. That catch rate of 79 targets, 44 79, that is not winning football.
That's not good.
No.
But Skip, I don't. I mean, you said that his heart is not there, and I'm thinking the only place that maybe his heart will be is maybe L.A. or going to New England.
Yep.
Cleveland's not trading him to New England.
No. He belongs in L.A., and he's voiced that before when he was with the Giants.
Yes.
Because he got a big mansion in the Hollywood Hills.
Skip, that'd have been, I'm sure the Maras and the Wellington, the Maras and would have appreciated you telling them, I don't really want to be here, before they gave you that big money. That would have helped them a lot.
But they gave it to him.
Yes, because he's like, I want to be in there. I want to be here. I want to be here. And then it come to find out he did the story with, I think, with Josina Anderson. And he's like, no, I don't know.
That was with Lil Wayne.
Oh, true.
I'm like, bruh, they just gave you $90 million and you talk about you unsure?
Yeah, and that's when he suggested L.A. would be a great place to play.
That was a bizarre.
Yeah, you don't got it.
Right?
Yeah.
And remember when he called Cleveland out there? You got any good restaurants out there?
Yeah.
I tweeted at somebody.
I was thinking the Maras and the Tishes. They're the co-owners.
Right.
Tishes.
Yep, you got it.
I hate that when people don't realize the Midwest. It is a place. It exists.
Yeah, Jenny, but unless you're from there, you're probably not moving there.
I had a roommate, I'm not kidding, in college, ask me, I went to school in Boston, if it was hard to get flights that flew to Minnesota. And you know what? We find a way. You get in somehow. Some people just don't.
That's a good air. That's a destination.
Yes, she was really concerned.
Jenny.
But
the Midwest, it is great.
I know, and he could make it his own. He could be Cleveland's guy.
But people don't it's not like an influx. It's not like people moving to L.A. or moving to Florida or moving to Atlanta. Yeah. They're like, I'm moving to Ohio. Yeah. Or I'm moving to Minneapolis. That's where I'm going.
But what do people in L.A. and New York call the middle states? The flyover.
The flyover. Yeah.
We live in the flyovers.
Oh, yeah.
Hard.
No mercy.
After the Clippers beat the Lakers on opening night, the West has been owned by the purple and gold. The Lakers, who cruised to an easy win against the Warriors last night, are 9-2. Meanwhile, the Clippers dropped their game to the Rockets and are now 7-4. The good news, though, for the Clippers, Paul George expected to make his season debut tonight against the Pelicans. So we are now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Rick Bucher. Good to have you back with us.
Good to be back.
It's that time of year. Going forward, who you got? Who has the edge in LA?
I assume we're only talking about this as a debate because Shannon is here. Because to me, there really is no debate.
What?
There is.
Did we not see the first meeting between these two without Paul George? The Lakers may have a comparable record. But if we're talking about how these two particular teams match up, and I assume that's what we're looking at, is what's it going to be like if and when they meet in the playoffs? The Clippers just have way too much for the Lakers. They can send multiple quality defenders at Anthony Davis and wear him down. They can send multiple defenders at LeBron James and wear him down. They can play slow. They can play fast. They can score from the perimeter. They can do all the things that you need to be able to do in the postseason. And the Lakers are simply hoping that they can be what they are now at the end of the year. And that rides heavily on making sure that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are 100%. And so that is their great challenge, is to be able to get there. That's the only shot that they have at competing with the Clippers, with the one caveat, the one X factor is Kyle Kuzma. If you believe that Kyle Kuzma can be a genuine star and they can find a way to incorporate him and allow him that space with Anthony Davis and LeBron James doing what they do, then maybe, just maybe. But if I look at the way they are right now and I look at Kyle Kuzma never having been to the playoffs before and what weight he would have to carry in that matchup, it's not close. The Clippers' depth and their experience and their versatility, there's just too much there.
If you don't mind me asking,
yes.
The season's what, 3 weeks old?
Yes.
And tonight is what, Paul George's first game, right?
Yes.
So health is an issue for him, correct?
It could be, but...
What was last year? So what was happening last year that he had to start missing those games?
Well, he had the two shoulders.
So health is an issue.
Sure.
Well, you got him fixed.
Hold on, time out.
Exactly.
No, okay, fine. Kawhi.
Yes.
Is Kawhi load managing? So health could be an issue.
Yeah.
The very thing that you asked me about LeBron and AD,
Yes.
health being an issue, it could be an issue for these
But
guys.
here's the distinction. Those two guys, I can rest them. I can load manage with them, and I can still be a quality team. This is a Clippers team without these two guys that was a playoff team last year.
Yes.
They can function with those guys playing limited minutes and taking nights off. Please don't bring up the Warriors game last night as evidence that they can play without one of their stars.
No. But I also understand, Skip, is that, if I'm not mistaken, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both are threes. They're both wing players, play the exact same position. I think it's easier to blend a 3 and a 4 as opposed to 2 threes. So because we already have established our pecking order, AD, LeBron. What's the pecking order when Paul George is back?
Their pecking order is called defense. And two wings work really well
I can't
on
tell.
defense.
Oh, they play defense?
Yeah.
So how did James Harden get all these points? How did old Booker get all these points?
Was Paul George there? No. Is Kawhi...
And Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. Kawhi load management.
You saw Kawhi.
Right.
He wanted no parts of James Harden last night.
He wants no parts of James Harden at this point in the season.
Thank you.
If we get to the playoffs, trust me, Kawhi Leonard...
Shannon, I already told you, Kawhi Leonard does not do November 13th at Houston.
So I'm asking, okay, I get that. So why don't you and everybody else have that same energy about LeBron not playing defense in the regular season?
No, actually, here's the distinction. I believe that LeBron is playing more defense now than he has in years.
He has.
Right. No doubt. But here's the question. Can he do that this entire year? This is my question when it comes to the Lakers and their depth. Can LeBron give the energy that he has to this point in order for them to be what they are? Can he do that all season long and then be able to go in the postseason and be 100%?
You know why he
At
can't?
age 35.
You know why? Because he believes this team has a chance. He know good and well that team last year
Agreed.
wasn't going anywhere.
He was load managing last year. He was like, what am I playing for?
Well, if he was the best player on the planet, he might have carried him for a couple of rounds.
Well, if he wasn't,
right?
if the best player on the planet had to snuck off and had a secret meeting in Malibu and say, please go get me Paul George, he'd have been the best player. But he demanded Paul George because you know why? Because he can't pull that weight like old King James can.
You
Take it away.
Threatened. That's
I
what
ain't
you
threatened
sound.
by nothing.
You sound haunted.
Give me
by
GOAT.
the specter of Kawhi Leonard in the same building your king used to rule.
I'll take GOAT James over Kawhi and Paul George.
Yeah.
I'll double up is better than yours.
So, I'm going to be fair to you at this moment.
Are you suggesting I was not?
No. You were just cold-blooded facts.
You were a little.
Cold, hard facts right in his face. And I felt bad, and I was going to say we should just stop the show right there because it was game over. You just said game, set, match. Your turn, Shannon, is like, what? I have to talk now?
You will see. You gonna find out. Y'all gonna find out the hard way.
I'm going to help you a little bit because I got to tell you, the Lakers have impressed me in ways I did not see coming. Because Rob Pelinka is my early GM or executive of the year, because Kawhi Leonard left him for dead. He left that team for dead. He bamboozled them. He took them for a long ride, and then he left them not high and dry, low and dry. And Pelinka had to scramble. And what he threw together on the fly it's pretty good.
Okay.
Because I like Avery Bradley, and I've always liked Danny Green. And I've always liked Quinn Cook as a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. LeBron made that case the other night. He's about as good as there is in the league at just catching and shooting. He can make clutch threes. And Kyle Kuzma will be the closer for this team. And I agree with your point. Can he close when it really matters in the biggest stage, biggest games? I don't know.
But that's what we got Goat James for.
Okay.
So when it comes to the biggest stage and the biggest game, you know old Goat can do that.
To close?
Yeah.
What GOAT have you been watching?
Oh, Goat James.
That's what he does.
I've been watching it for 16 years.
Oh, well, I haven't ever seen him close.
Don't do that, Skip.
Boy, I saw him try to close the other night at Phoenix. He went 3 for 9 in the fourth quarter and 0 for 3 from the free throw line.
Did Kawhi close last night?
No, he's not a great closer either, but Sweet Lou is one of the best closers in basketball. And last night in the fourth quarter, he let everybody down on his team. He went 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter. And every once in a while, he's capable of just having a cold hand.
It's called being human.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're about to get Iggy, too.
Okay.
So
here's what I like the most.
Memphis.
Right now on this Lakers roster, they have more guys with multiple all-defensive team numbers than any team's ever had. If you add up all the all-defensive teams that LeBron and AD and Dwight and Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo have made, because he made 4.
And Danny Green.
Okay, and Danny Green, I'm sorry, it's a good one. So if you add them all up, no team, no collection of players have ever had a combined all-defensive team appearances like this team does.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has a core of defensive mindset, and I think Frank Vogel's a good defensive coach. I think he really does live and breathe defense, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you have that going in ways that I obviously didn't see last year's Lakers play any defense.
Yeah, and when you see Dwight Howard. You see old Dwight?
Well, I don't even know who he is.
You know who he is.
Whole new look.
3 teams consecutive defensive player of the year.
Skinny Dwight.
Giving it to him.
Yep.
You see JaVale?
Yep. He can play.
JaVale look like a new guy.
Well, here's the thing. Then this is what you have to give LeBron. You have to give LeBron guys who know how to play off of him. The difference between him playing with young players and veteran players, you couldn't have a greater example of that than last year versus this year.
Right.
Okay.
You need to have that. Now, the problem is that all those guys, first of all those defensive accolades were from a couple years ago.
Oh, I know. I got it.
It's a little
mindset.
vintage.
It's just
and I agree with that. But it's defense when you play slow. They need to play slow.
Oh, yeah.
And when they play slow, their offense is not as good.
Correct.
And that's
I agree.
the tricky part here is for their defense to be as good as it needs to be. If you play fast, you can beat them in transition.
Oh, yeah, but that's what the whole thing. That's the whole if you notice, they got back against Phoenix because the night before Toronto, they was 32-8. Well, you can't win a ball game like that. So LeBron said, and that's why LeBron likes to have the ball because he loves controlling pace. He loves controlling tempo.
But what have I
and
told
he normally plays slow.
He does, but people are starting to say, boy, he's starting to turn into Magic. He's playing the Magic role for this team. Magic ran showtime, fast breaks.
Right.
This is slow time. It is. It's slow time.
But you saw last night. You saw what he did last night. He's like, I turned it over to AD. No AD, let me show you what I got. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Okay,
Against Golden State, I was impressed.
Hold on. Oh, Rick.
They're the worst team in the Western Conference
2
right
and
now.
10 Warriors.
Okay, when LeBron went to Golden State without Kyrie and Kevin Love, did you say, what did you say?
Are we talking about the same team?
No, I mean,
it's the same franchise.
Yeah,
but
but I'm saying when they had their superstars, Steph, Clay, Draymond, did you feel sorry for LeBron when he went there without Kevin Love and Kyrie?
No.
Oh, I didn't think you did.
I felt sorry for him when they're up 2-1 in his house, and he just came up small as mini.
I gotta tell you what I did feel sorry for him when I was on your show when I told him I'm going to that parade when they were down 3-1. I said, I'm going to the parade, Skip. Anybody know it's over.
Want to know the truth? He actually backtracked on that position. You gave up on it. The last time you were on the show, we were actually about to sign off at the end of the show, and you said, no, I give up. They're not going to win it.
And we came
Roll the
back.
tape.
You can't do that right now.
I came back, and guess who was at the parade?
He actually went to the parade uninvited.
I'm sure.
No, they rolled out the red carpet.
Uninvited.
I had passes, I had backstage access.
He's photobombing LeBron James at the parade.
Introduction.
Kyrie, Kevin Love,
Yep.
JR, all of them. I was there. But you're going to eat
nice
those. What's today's date?
14th.
11/14, 2019.
Yes.
Right? Today's the day.
Rick Bucher.
Yes.
Says no
Not
way.
close.
Hold up. Eats words.
No. I'm not eating those words today.
I'm going to make sure.
That's said. Oh, my goodness. Good.
So why did Anthony Davis miss the game last night? It wasn't load management. He's got some kind of rib issue on top of an ongoing shoulder issue because he's always got some kind of physical issue.
Kind of like Kawhi?
Yep, kind of like Kawhi.
You see him putting ice on Kawhi?
Okay.
Did you see that last night, Rick? Did you watch? They putting ice on his knee. He was standing on the side, they rubbing his knee down.
No, they wrapped it with an
I mean.
Already? He low man. You know he don't play back to back. He's not playing tonight.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He did the same thing last year.
He did it all year.
That was a different year. See, you can't always
Wait,
play.
what's different?
Hold
What's
on.
different?
So every year, so if I do something the exact same this year, I'm gonna get the exact same results the following year.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Stop it.
It works.
You know good well sports don't work like that, Rick. You've been around the business too long.
So, Shannon Sharpe, John Hollinger wrote in The Athletic, Kawhi Leonard has a condition called tendinopathy in his knee.
That ain't what you said. You said he quit. You said he got quit-itis.
That was over the thigh bruise in San Antonio. That was a long time ago.
Right.
But this is a new issue
go ahead.
in his knee, which is basically damage to a tendon that will not get better.
So hold on. So this could be reoccurring, so he might miss another 73 games.
Yeah, but he had it last year.
He
had
did.
it last
Even
year.
had
and
it
he won the
early in the
championship.
playoffs.
And he got done what you needed to get done. And he didn't have a Paul George next to him.
So why he tell that lie? He said there's no issues, and I don't see why it will be an issue that I will miss time.
Well, because one, and this is what I appreciate, Anthony Davis says, I've had this shoulder issue, and I've been playing with it for a long time. I'm still of the school, if you're playing, then I don't want to hear about whatever you're playing with.
Thank you.
You're playing. And so otherwise, the mentality is I'm giving myself an out, that if things don't quite work out the way I want them to, that this is an issue. Kawhi Leonard, we're hearing about his injuries from a lot of other people in terms of what they are, from Hollinger, from everybody else. Kawhi Leonard saying, I'm working my way towards the playoffs. I have my mind on one thing. I want to be ready to play when it comes to the playoffs. I'm not talking about anything else. I respect and I admire that approach as opposed to, I got this thing.
But here's the thing. When I see a 28-year-old sit his ass on the bench, I know he bull jiving. He's 28.
You know what?
28, you superstar.
He showed me everything he needed to show me last year in terms of how he got to the finish line, and he got it done.
Correct.
He got it done for the Toronto Raptors.
So right now, LeBron is all about November, and Kawhi is all about...
Make sure I'm hearing you correctly. Kawhi load...
You're going to write something else? We got something else going there?
Kawhi load manages, and the Golden State Warriors are 100% healthy.
Yeah.
What does he get? They winning. Are they beating Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, if that bunch is 100%? A simple yes or no.
But you're talking to the wrong guy, because I told you last year that they would break down physically because of those 5 years.
Yeah.
I told you that the Warriors were going to be compromised.
So in other words, he didn't beat the whole team.
No, but then LeBron James didn't beat the whole team when they came back from 3-1. I mean,
was Draymond there for game 6, 7?
He was not there for the pivotal game.
Well, you can't kick the man.
Andrew Bogut wasn't there. Look, we could go back and forth.
Don't do that.
You could say the same thing when the Warriors beat the Cavs. Kevin Love's not there.
But don't nobody say that. They say LeBron. Somebody keep telling me LeBron blew a 2-1 lead. That's what I keep hearing.
Well, he did. In his house, you're up 2-1.
And the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. We can say that.
With a unanimous MVP.
You know what, Shannon? Paul George is back, and I'm going to give the Clippers the edge. Because
you give them all you want to, but we're going to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to send a statement for release, like that statement that Cap's agency.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, we got something for you, Rick. Make sure you're there.
Statement.
Okay. What do they always say, the old adage? The season starts in the NBA?
That ain't what Rick said. Rick said the season started opening night.
It was a statement game because it was those two teams head-to-head.
100%.
So now-
100%. Who owns LA?
Yeah.
Your man, regardless of what he said, your man came out to prove a point, and he did for 2 quarters.
My man wasn't trying to prove no point. But prove what point?
Oh, come
on.
I was there.
Go James went 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter, and Anthony Davis didn't even make a
0 for 2.
point.
So he was really trying to show out because you saw the other night, Skip, he put up 9 shots against Phoenix, but he put up 2 shots. And he's trying to prove a point making 2 shots, putting up the ball twice.
He was playing the Clippers and not the Phoenix.
Oh, stop it.
All right,
Stop it.
Bottom line, the Clippers will be readier for May than the Lakers will be ready for May.
We're going to find out.
Yep.
I don't want no excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about no low Kawhi this and Paul George. He got his hair braided too tight. I don't want to hear none of that.
I don't know.
Because we're going to mollywop them.
I'm warming up to the load management because it seems odd.
I ain't warmed up to it.
I hear what you're saying,
it.
Can it's always good to have you here.
So can they not pay him on the days he take off?
Yeah, maybe that's what we should come to. Okay.
No mercy.
The Super Bowl loss 2 years ago to the Eagles is something Tom Brady still thinks about. Ahead of the Patriots-Eagles matchup this Sunday, Brady admitted that it's something he hasn't moved on from. Take a listen.
You assume I'm over it.
Yeah. This is Tom Brady. You think he forgets this?
Never going to be
Come
over
on now. That's a lot of mental scar tissue from that year. So that was a tough game. But in a lot of ways, I think we learned from that year and we came back stronger the next year. And we won the Super Bowl in 2018. So I think everything is a matter of perspective. And I think when you play in that game and you play great teams, you're not going to win them all.
All right, Fox Sports contributor Rob Parker now with us. But since Skip is pounding on the table, I'm going to start with you on this one.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's been warming up.
About that good morning.
Who deserves more blame, Skip, in your mind for Super Bowl 52, that loss? Brady or Belichick?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes, seriously.
Bill Belichick deserves 100% of the blame for that Super Bowl because that game will and should go down as the biggest regret of Tom Brady's career. Bill Belichick cost Tom Brady his 7th Super Bowl ring against the Eagles on that fateful day. Tom Brady threw for an all-time playoff record, 505 yards, and the Patriots scored 33 points, which should have been enough to win a Super Bowl game, and that was against a top 5 Eagles defense that season. And Bill Belichick tried to polish his genius before the NFL world and the Super Bowl audience by elevating Eric Rowe into the starting lineup in place of Malcolm Butler. Why did he do that? Because Bill Belichick had bamboozled those Eagles. He had acquired Eric Rowe after the Eagles had taken him in the 2nd round and given up on him. So Belichick said, watch this. I'll beat the Eagles with their cast-off cornerback, Eric Rowe, and I will bench Malcolm Butler, who played the most snaps in the regular season on my whole defense. I'm going to bench him for the whole game without explanation or reason except to polish my ego. He wouldn't even put him in the second half when it got more dire circumstance, to the point that they're giving up 41 points to the Eagles' backup quarterback, Nick Foles. They made Nick Foles the Super Bowl MVP, and Brady was kind of yucking it up on the radio interview, but trust me, that burns in his soul that Belichick cost him that game by giving up 41 to Nick Foles. I've never seen anything quite like it, but you still say he's a genius on defense. He tried to prove it, and it blew up in his face, and more importantly, in Tom Brady's face.
You know what, Skip? And I've told you this before. The losses stick longer with you than the wins, because when you win the game, Skip, there's always going to be celebratory. When you lose the game, there's nothing you can do to get that taste out of your mouth. So I'm not surprised that Tom Brady, the Jacksonville Jags, lost. And as Tom said, they used that loss to fuel them. We used it to fuel us. We won back-to-back Super Bowls.
After you lost to Jacksonville.
After we lost to 90.
At home in the playoffs.
At home, 96 in the division.
Mark Brunell.
Skip.
Mark Brunell.
Go
ahead.
Got to open the wound.
Like Nick Foles, Mark Brunell. Go ahead.
Still hurts.
But anyway, Skip. Well, since you want to put it like that, Bill Belichick cost him his 7th Super Bowl. Bill Belichick won the Seattle Super Bowl. Bill Belichick won the Rams Super Bowl. So Tom Brady could easily have a couple of more losses on the
Wait a second. What, Tom Brady threw for 124 in the fourth quarter against Seattle and 2 touchdowns. It's the Legion of Boom.
But let me ask you a question. You see, you just said now he threw for 505, and what did it get him? Because the defense
got him 33 points.
Because the defense didn't stand on his head. So you can't use that. See, Skip, at the end of the day.
Stand on its head. It got knocked on its head. 41 points?
At the end of the day, your guy had the costly turnover. Your guy dropped the pass, a perfect pass from Danny Amendola. That's what you're supposed to catch it.
Wait, Tom Brady, does he double as a wide receiver?
Whoa! Nick Foles did. Nick Foles did. He's down in the Hall of, he's going down to the, not only did he win the MVP, which is, there's only, 53 of those. He's won one. He got his play. The Philly special is in the Hall of Fame. There is no paraphernalia from the New England Patriots going to the Hall of Fame because we don't accept losers' merchandise.
Nick Foles was recruited to play college basketball.
Okay, what they got to do with him catching?
How good he is.
What that got to do with him catching the pass over his shoulder?
Well, he can catch.
Snagged it.
Yeah. And Skip, I'm just surprised at you because it's not about the yards.
Yes. Me?
Yeah.
It's not about the yards. It's about points. Isn't that what wins a game?
Yes.
So Tom Brady in that Super Bowl left some points on the field.
33. No loser has ever scored more points.
But he had 505 yards. But I'm telling you, he only had 3 touchdowns. And here's the other part that you're bringing up.
3.
He coughed up the football with 2:16 to go.
In the fourth quarter.
They were down by 5. Brady's driving. Here's your chance to win another Super Bowl. He coughed up the football. Shannon also brought up the catch that was definitely makeable, which was a big play that Tom Brady didn't make.
8 yards.
And first down.
And this is even better. I can make the case that Tom Brady actually lost all 3 Super Bowls by himself. Not only did he lose that Super Bowl, let's go back to when they were 18-0 in 2007. They were averaging 36.8 points a game. Plaxico Burress said that they would win that game 23-17. Tom Brady laughed and said, we're only going to score 17 points. They only scored 14 points.
Okay, but with 2 minutes left, he drove them 80 yards for the 14th point. They had 14 to 10.
They got 14 points.
Then what happened?
So in other words, they got 22 fewer than what they did
than they normally did. They killed everybody. I'm talking about
Okay.
that was Tom.
It was Belichick's defense that gave up an 83-yard
No,
drive
Skip,
to
they only
Eli.
gave up 17 points.
17
Brady only
points?
scored 14.
Okay, but they're ahead 14-10 with 2 minutes left.
Super Bowl 46. Wes Welker's wide open, Shannon. Skip. We were on TV that next morning.
I said it.
You can't back down now.
Okay, we're talking about it. Wait a second.
On TV that next morning.
We're talking about.
You admitted he missed Wes Welker.
We're talking about the Eagles.
No. That he blew all 3 Super Bowls that the Patriots have lost, where Tom Brady didn't play or perform as well as he had previously.
I gave you, he made one bad throw in 9 Super Bowls. He made one bad throw
Welker.
that most people that Welker should have caught. Even you say Welker should have caught it.
You should have caught it.
Okay, it wasn't an awful throw. He didn't overthrow him by 10
He was
yards.
wide open, Skip.
Okay,
But what about that fumble?
Okay, he is desperate because they're having to overcome 41 points that the defense is giving up, and he gets a little careless, and Brandon Graham reached out and knocked the ball out of his hands. But then what did he do on the very last play of the Super Bowl? Did you see him put a move on Brandon Graham, an athletic move?
There was no athletic move. He sidestepped.
Well, this is big time. And look at this throw. Okay, he escapes Brandon Graham. That was athletic. And he throws.
Perfect.
Yep, he knocked him down. How does Gronk not come up and catch this ball? He's 6 feet 6 inches tall.
There's 4 guys there.
Okay.
Skip.
Are they yanking him down from behind? It sure looked like it because that wasn't much of a leap.
So you want him to go replay
Is that not a perfect pass to Rob Gronkowski? Did that not almost hit him right in the hands?
Okay, Tom.
Go up and catch it.
Skip.
He's 6'6".
Skip.
That's a perfect Hail Mary.
But you like to talk about Tom Brady in the fourth quarter against Atlanta and against Seattle. Tom Brady in the fourth quarter against Philadelphia. 9 of 16, 100 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble.
A big fumble. That was the game.
Okay,
they were down by 5, Skip. They could have won that game.
100 yards. He threw for a touchdown. Okay? You know what he is? Human, and every once in a while he makes a mistake.
Okay,
but he was trying to overcome 41 points given up by the genius.
Despite the 33 points, he still could have won that game with 2:16 to go and the football.
Do you defend Bill Belichick's game plan for that game? 41 points?
I stand behind Coach Belichick because Coach Belichick won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady's first Super Bowl when he threw one touchdown the entire playoffs. Can you defend that?
Should 33 points win a Super Bowl?
No,
game?
not if the team got 34 or more.
Yes. Yes.
Jeez. One thing I know around here, though, the blame game. It never ends.
Because he don't want to give
Brady and
Philly
Belichick.
he don't want to give the Eagles no credit. They
Never
beat,
ends around
they
here.
beat him with a backup. Beat Tom Brady with a backup.
No mercy.
So TMZ Sports caught up with comedian and Laker fan George Lopez, who had some interesting things to say about not only LeBron, but also about you, Skip. Take a listen.
Can we talk Lakers real quick?
You know what? The Lakers are as good as LeBron's wig.
You know Skip Bayless?
Yeah, no, I love Skip Bayless.
So Skip he hates LeBron. Like, it's the word. But like, and even now with LeBron's success, he always has something to say. Is it time Skip apologizes?
Well, not yet.
LeBron.
I think if LeBron does bring a championship home at this age in his career, if Frank Vogel can get the Lakers to the playoffs and deep into the playoffs, then I would say Skip Bayless, get your fake little wig, get your little 23 jersey, dog.
Oh, Shannon, do you agree with George Lopez?
Yep.
Get the
Everybody
wig
knows you're
ready.
the president, the CEO of the LeBron Haters Club. So you brought that little cheap Clippers jersey out here in them fake orthopedic security guard shoes.
Orthopedic shoes.
So get ready to get a 23 jersey and some LeBron James 17s.
Okay, so first of all, I hate it when people say I hate LeBron James. I always say he's still the best passer in basketball. Best passer in basketball. I always say he's the greatest driver of the basketball I have ever seen. And I always tell you he is the most durable superstar I have ever closely followed. Do I not always say those three things? Thank you very much. Now, to what George Lopez said, if in fact your man LeBron is able to carry these Lakers to a title, to the championship, to the chip, at age 35, I will come out here not only in a 23 Laker jersey, but I'll get me a, what did he call it, a fake little wig. I'll wear a little fake little
LeBron ain't got no fake wig.
Oh, well, that's what he said.
They ain't got no fake wig.
I will wear the 23 jersey and a fake little wig. Because the Lakers are even better than LeBron's wig. That's what George said.
You know what?
Right?
You got jokes, huh?
No, I'm just repeating what George said.
George.
And I love George, and we have tried to get George on the show, and we haven't been able to get schedules together, but we will get George to come out here and sit right here.
Skip, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. They're going to win the title. And then you're not going to have any more excuses.
I will have none. You're right.
Oh, yes, you will.
Because
guess what's going to happen? They win the title, Anthony Davis is Finals MVP. Did Michael Jordan ever not win the Finals MVP? You're going to find something because you won't have anything else.
But you already predicted LeBron will be the Finals
You
MVP.
see what we did.
Right?
In 26 minutes last night, had them 12 dimes.
Okay. 12 dimes against the Dubs who have no Dubs.
What
Right?
you got to do with me, Skip?
Yeah.
All we can, like you tell me, you can only play who's on the schedule. You play who you play. Did he not play extremely well?
LeBron is in dangerous territory because he needs to be load managing in November like his new arch rival, the new guy who owns L.A., Kawhi Town.
The worst thing you can do is base what you do on what someone else does.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing to get people in trouble. When you judge your life based on how someone else is living. That ain't what we do. Bron James and I, we do what we do. And we let everybody else do what they do.
Threatened.
What we threatened by?
You didn't comment on his wig comment.
He ain't got no wig.
Oh, he ain't got no wig.
We move past that.
No mercy.
According to Fox Bet, the Browns are 3-point home favorites tonight against the Steelers. Both teams are fighting to stay alive in the AFC wildcard hunt. So, Shannon, who wins tonight?
Skip, I'm going to take the Steelers. Since the Steelers acquired Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins, they've been unbelievable.
Wow. Yep.
This dude has tossed in 7 games, he's tossed his name in the Defensive Player of the Year hat.
Yep.
So I'm going to take them in a close ball game, Skip. I'll say 23-20.
23-20.
I'm going to go with my head over my heart because my heart says Baker, but my head says Steelers defense, Minkah and Devin Bush and company. So I'm going to go low scoring. I'm going to go Steelers 20-17.
Yeah, they've been getting after the quarterback. Bud Dupree, T.J. Watt, they've been unbelievable. So Baker, we're going to find out, Skip. We get an opportunity to see. Baker gets an opportunity. You know, he didn't want the crowd. They be quiet, but we're on the offense. Shh, hold it down. Give them something to cheer about. You should be saying, get it up.
Yeah, now that they know how things are.
You should be happy they still come to the game.
I'm with Baker.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.